Marianne Brewer, coming to you today in the company of horses or in the company of donkeys. Hey, sweethearts. I want to talk with you today about relationship-based horsemanship. It's what I always talk with you about. But in particular, a question that came up on a phone call the other day, and it's come up many times, and I've seen it in lots of other people's videos, especially in the world of natural horsemanship, and that is inside of getting horses to do what we want and horses who would rather do something else. The mantra is make the right thing easy or obvious and make the wrong thing difficult. And what that looks like in practice is when they're doing the right thing, you let them rest. And when they're doing the wrong thing, you make them work. Like even cantering in a circle for 10 minutes, which is ridiculous. And so the wrong thing might look like a horse that is herd bound or pair bonded and doesn't want to leave, doesn't want to go where you want to go. Or maybe they want to go back to the barn and you want to go out on the trail. And so what that looks like is you invite them to go out on the trail, and then if they choose, you allow them to go back to the barn. But when you go back to the barn, you make them canter in circles for 10 minutes. And then when you go out on the trail, you let them rest. Or if they're pair bonded to their friends, even in an arena, when you're next to the horses or their friends, you make them circle in, at the canter for 10 minutes. And when they're away from their friends, you let them rest. I know this very well. I've done this many, many times. But I think that assumes that the horse does not associate that we are the ones making them do this work, like cantering in circles for 10 minutes, which is hard. That's hard work for a horse. Usually it's small circles. That's a lot of hard work for a horse. And it assumes that the horse thinks that, oh, well, if I'm by my friend, I have to work. And if I'm not, I don't. It doesn't bring the obvious conclusion that if I'm with you, you're going to make me uncomfortable, because we are the common denominator, whether they're resting or they're comfortable. It's not their friends. Their friends aren't making them do anything. The barn isn't making them do anything. It's us that's making them do this thing we want them to do. So that's a flawed, it's a flawed theory. It's a flawed strategy for having horses want to be with us and want to do what we want them to do. So I encourage you not to do that. And instead, I encourage you to look to see if your horse doesn't want to be with you or doesn't want to go somewhere with you, why not? Maybe it's because you're making them uncomfortable. Maybe it's because you're trying to show them who's boss or make them do things that they don't want to do or that they're uncomfortable doing. I mean, the most natural thing in the world for horses is to want to be together. And if they don't want to be with you, you need to look in the mirror and figure out why not. And so the answer is, well, what do I do? If my horse is pair bonded and doesn't want to be with me but wants to be with its friends. And the answer is you become someone your horse wants to be with. Okay, so there's a number of ways that I help people with that in For the Love of Horses. First of all, you need to learn to pay attention. Like if your horse is talking to you, you need to listen. If horses are bucking, bolting, biting, rearing, kicking, running away, if you can't catch them, it's because people have not listened. And maybe it wasn't you. Maybe you just got this horse and he came with all this baggage. But if he's not coming around and he's not allowing you to, if he's not coming when you call him, if he's not just showing up and wanting to go places with you, it's because you're not listening. I have 1,000 examples I could give you of cases where when people change, the horses change. So, looking in the mirror would be one way to do it, and really taking an honest look, like without judgment, just in a clean, observational way. that tells you what you've been doing. You know, what is the cause and effect? Like if you've been showing them who's boss, if you've been making them do stuff. I chatted with a woman the other day who shared with me that she has a young colt, and he had just been gelded. So he was a new gelding, but he has all this young colt behavior, this young 2-year-old. He's he has this stud-like behavior. And she's been doing this tit for tat stuff. Like he'll come over and put his mouth on her, and then she'll, hit him, with the end of the rope. And she'll set it up. Like she'll walk and he'll be walking behind her, and then he'll come up and put his mouth on her, and then she stops and she hits him. And, this is the strategy, right? You want to create a negative behavior. You want to create some negative reinforcement for the horse putting its mouth on you. Except I don't believe at all it takes into consideration what the horse's needs are. What does this horse need? Why is he putting his mouth on you? Now, I don't want horses' mouths on me either, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to do violence to them. What if I actually put myself in a different position so he doesn't have any encouragement to put his mouth on me? What if I don't walk directly in front of him? What if I have a long enough rope and I let him walk all the way over there and I walk over here so he can have his own space? And then create a boundary. Say, yeah, you can't come in my space here because I don't feel safe. Like, what if that could be the answer instead of this violence? I don't know why violence is always the answer. In relationship-based horsemanship, violence is not the answer. Harsher ways of doing things, whips, spurs, bits, sticks, chains, all of it. They're all designed to be harsher, to create pain, to create negative reinforcement. And I just know from experience there are so many better ways to do that, but it has to start with us. And so if you want to learn more about this, head over to my website, MaryAnnBrewer.com, and take a look there and see what there is there to offer. Look at my 45-minute free webinar and see the 5 shifts that people are making to create a deep and unbreakable bond with their horse. Join my online coaching program for the love of horses. It's a coaching program with people from all over the world who want just what I'm talking about, want to not have a violent relationship with their horse and want something that is mutual, horses that want to, horses that will take care of you because they care about you. And I'm not talking about love and hugs and kisses and all of that stuff that I've been so accused of talking about. What I am talking about is pair bonding, something horses naturally do. Show you something. I think this horse is going to lay down and roll. Watch, let me see. Yep, she's getting ready to go. She's going in those circles. There she goes. A nice roll. She'll probably come up with her fly mask off because it seems like something she does every single time. That's Miss Gemma. Oh, it's still... Oh, there it goes. I knew it because it goes off every time. And that's how she gets the thing off. Okay. Guys, I'll leave the link below, MaryAnnBrewer.com. If you want to learn more about relationship-based horsemanship, reach out. It's the perfect time of year. Oh, it's always the perfect time of year. I look forward to talking with you then.